a little quieter and more melancholy than stuff I've read here before, fitting for the season. As the weather cools, the sky grays, people get more thoughtful. I've been feeling a lot of that from performances so far.
Yep.
Very reflective, thinking about scar tissue that somehow keeps bleeding years later. So, I'm going to be reading a poem that I wrote, as well as one by a writer I really admire. I'll start with that second one first. It's by a poet named Rade Drenac. It comes from a collection of Serbian poetry that was translated into English by Charles Simic, and the poem is called Leaf. I've changed stations. Autumn remained behind, and my bags. The sky now is doubtful, like an awkward lie. In the first tavern, I'll need to forget the melancholy letter that woke me from my sleep. Idle, I staggered on the street past offices. The swallows have flown, and the typewriters have stayed. On the horizon, there is a huge trumpet of smoke. A plane has just been invented, as small as a butterfly. Bravo! That's a good sign. The first autumn leaf falls on my hat. And now this poem is by me. It's called Memento Mori. And it begins with a quote by Clarence Major, in which he says, "All songs are about being born and having to die." The distance cracks, echoes, 1, 2, 3, sheep. 4 shots fired, east of 28th and Nicolette. The clumps of friends and stray pedestrians don't even break into a trot any slower, and they'd be trudging in place in the center of the street. A red shape glides by, a young man running, and then another, his shirt the color of a mandarin skin mid-wilt. I wait a bit, longer than is needed to cross so I can eavesdrop on the woman and man exchanging whispers by the hospital stairs. But all they bring me is staticky hip-fun. This shit is crazy. I just turned 55. Public housing, on the corner, 24/7. I used to live on 12th and Lake. Why? And what's that mean? I'm halfway across Nicolette. And I turn around and see the world ripped open, bleeding orange under a mackerel sky, sucked into a vortex sun. Michelangelo clouds, Da Vinci symmetry, impossible and perfect. These fleecy, frail fish bones, broken half, split wide, laid flat and drenched in this gory, unholy sunset spilling over everything. The woman and the man, the buttery roads, their mere shadows mounting. It seems I've never lived before to catch sight of another moment of existence like this one. without fear, and no hope either. But this poem must end, and I am still walking, and I just can't believe this couple I've spotted loafing on the northeast lawn of MIA. I mean, she's actually hanging from the bottom of the branch. The folds of her shirt, like her leonine hair, drooping the way the fur on the slots back drips, trickling and tangled tufts, the same way that cypress leaves can beckon. And he is actually daring to chuck his body upward, feet glued at the heels, leading with his chin in order to boot her on the nose. Ridiculous! This dorky dolphin. They're both laughing. I crane my neck to watch her drop down on her feet, her whole torso and extensor muscles stretching to full tension. They both stand there, hushed, sizing each other up, oblivious to all but their own breath and scent. Are they still young, or older than us all? By design, or by the batch? Feelings in the makeshift glade frames their brief chase, kiss. Don't leave me.